Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this special video showcase we're going to be looking at some of the Action Master playsets. This isn't all the Action Master playsets that were released, this is just a few that I've got out and I've got out ready for display in this video. I hope this video brings back some nice memories, and I hope it's educational for some who haven't seen these, as we've got some European exclusives along the middle there as well. Let's get started. So, Action Masters, before we really start talking about them, these divide opinion in the Transformers community loads, because of course they are figures that don't actually transform. So the transformation comes from the vehicle that it's sitting inside. So we've got Wheeljack here, there he is, and he's got a turbo racer, and then it turns into an attack jet. So if I just turn this to the side, you can see, there you go. But as I've just mentioned, the actual Wheeljack figure does not transform at all. So some people love these, some people really don't care for them at all. And again, that's mainly for the reasons I've just stated. So we've got the attack helicopter, and then it turns into like a ski. This is obviously all in a different language as well. Looks like it's in the Canadian box, to be honest. There we go, there's the alternate mode there. And if I just spin it around quickly, we've got the battle scene where you've got Optimus Prime, Wheeljack, Megatron, Bumblebee. I think that's Overrun there, right there. Is it Overrun? Yep, looks like him. So, and Blaster's just next to that as well. So that's the common battle scene that we used. So here's a Decepticon one, AXA, motorcycle, and then you've got Soundwave hanging off the back of that. And then he turns into sort of like a bit of a battle station, shall we say. Not 100% sure. I'll have to do a full video on that. And there's the same battle scene there. So moving down, some of you might not have seen these. These are all European exclusives. And all these have got a very, very similar theme, as you'll see as we go along them. So we've got, and to be fair, two of them, as it says, were motorised action, so you put batteries in these. I've done a video on the Slicer, which is the Decepticon equivalent of this. So this is Rumbler, and all these turn into exosuits. So when you've got the motorised things in, the wheels spin round, you transform him, turn it on its side basically, and you can put the figure inside. So yeah, it's known as like an exosuit. I think it looks more like one of the suits from Alien, which Ripley gets in my opinion, to be honest. But there's the battle scene you can see there. Rumbler, Slicer, and there's the one I'm going to move on to next. This is the European exclusive Decepticon Thundercracker. Not in any of his traditional colours at all, so you'll be excused for not recognising that. But there we go. There's the jet, and then it turns into a suit. And as I said, although it's Thundercracker, if I spin it around, that's the colours of him, so you'd be completely excused if you got them, if you weren't sure who it was. But you've got exactly the same battle scene there. And moving over, another Autobot one, so this one's Circuit, and again exactly the same exosuit, all European exclusives though. The prices of these now have just gone crazy, to be honest. So if you're in Europe and you've got any, keep hold of them. Unfortunately for the people abroad, they are getting harder and harder to get. But there he is, there's Circuit. And then this is the one I was on about a second ago. This is Slicer. I've done a video on these because I'm lucky enough to have two. And I think this is the Canadian version. And this is the evil Wheeljack, and I'll show you that in a second. But there's exactly the same thing. There's your car, but it's called Slicer because it's got obviously like blades rather than the Rumbler things. And if we turn it round, that is Slicer, who is your evil Wheeljack. And then this is what I was just on about. So that's the Canadian version, it must be. And then this is the English version, so it's exactly the same, but of course everything's in English, so for myself it's easier to understand. Some of the bigger sets now, there's the Megatron. He looks, to be fair, he looks more G1 accurate, and we'll have a look at him in a second, but again he doesn't transform, so he's not that accurate. Devastator's sitting in the front there, and he turns into like a big battle station, a Nectron fusion tank. He's got a few modes, to be fair. Look, so we've got the big tank at first. You've then got a fold out, and it turns into a big battle station, and you've got a jet as well. So, you know, the playability of these was really, really good. And again, I appreciate these much more being an adult, but as a kid, I wasn't fond of them at all. And in all honesty, I was sort of growing out of them at the time, and these didn't really grab my attention. Especially after I was lucky enough to have been, you know, a child when Prime, Megatron, the Autobot cars and all the originals came out. Before we go on then, here is Gut Crunch. I think I've spelled that wrong. No, Gut Cruncher, there you go. I missed out the ER at the end. and this again is him sitting inside. This is a huge play set as well. So you've got the massive jet, you then take it all apart, you've got a mini tank and another mini battle station. Let's turn it round. So as I've already said, the playability on them was brilliant. They were really, really good, but it was only the play sets that transformed rather than them. So there they are again. I do stress that these aren't them all. These are just the ones that I've got in my ever decreasing, running out of space Transformer toy room. I hope you enjoyed looking at them. I hope it brought back some nice memories for the ones who haven't got any, and I hope it was informative for the ones who haven't even seen the other ones before. Thanks very much.